Welcome to the Basic Bee podcast, a show for the wannabe SEO savvy service providers among us, for the coaches and consultants who dream of becoming known for their storytelling skills, not to mention the solopreneurs who straight up need to master all things social proof to increase sales. After a little reluctantly fully committing to this online world of business, I quickly realized I needed to get people to come to me. I needed to tell them I was here and how I could support them. I dove headfirst into social proof, which led me to SEO, which led me to storytelling. And now it gives me great joy to share what I've learned with other business owners so they skip the hard stuff and ease straight into sales. This podcast gives you expert insights, actionable takeaways, and casual convos with some of the online world's best and brightest experts and strategists. I think that's enough of an intro, so here we go. Welcome back to The Basics with B, the little segment that we do on Fridays where we really go deep on the conversations that we had with the guests who showed up with us this week. So this week, of course, I talked with Kelly, my bookkeeper, and we went all in on the sacred money archetypes, which were so fun for me to talk through and learn about, and even hearing them again. I mean, of course, I was part of the conversation, but then when I write the show notes and the blog posts, I re-listened to the episodes, and it's always so enlightening to get a second chance to revisit a topic. And the thing that is on my heart, the big takeaway that I have for you from this week's episode is really just that healing your relationship with money, it starts with baby steps and it goes on for a while. And even if this is just like your first intro into a relationship with money looks like, what healing that relationship looks like, having a positive money mindset or a better money mindset, welcome. My journey really didn't start with that until last year. And last year was a tough year. And yet it was a year where I got to look at that relationship, look at that interaction and figure out how I could make it better, how I could improve things. And it took a while, I'm not going to lie. But this year I can come to you saying that it really does pay off. And being on the other side of that is huge. And I mean, even before I hit record, I was sitting here writing some notes, staring at the computer, not sure if I should even press the record button, but money is a weird topic. Money is a heavy topic for a lot of us, and it's a tough topic to talk about. And I mean, I'm the person that really up until the beginning of this year, I wasn't looking at my bank account. I wasn't looking at my budget. I wasn't looking at any of that stuff because 2023 was a really tough year. And frankly, it's been really tough since 2020. And I'm sure many of you listening can relate to that. And that gives me some sense of peace because I'm not alone in this crazy ride, but it's also tough. And I don't want to skip over that. I don't want to just blow right past that highway exit because it's a big deal. And that stuff gets seeded in really early. Childhood, and then your first job and schooling and all of this stuff. And there's so much wrapped up in it. And I am not the expert on this. I can only speak to my experience and places I've been and things I've done and what I've read and who I've worked with and how that's improved for me, which I'm going to share with you in just a minute. But just know if this is you right now and this is your first time ever hearing the concept, like I said, of healing your relationship with money or examining your money mindset or any of this stuff, or even, like I said, looking at the money archetypes like we did with Kelly, it's good to start somewhere. And whatever I have said or what I will say in this episode, if something resonates and you're like, maybe I should consider looking into that, please do. For me, just starting somewhere and letting one breadcrumb lead to another, it's been really helpful for me on this journey. And like I said, it was a really tough one, and I chose the weirdest of years to really dig into it. But the support group that I have around me, my financial team, friends, other business owners, my boyfriend, it's been really helpful to have those people and to just give myself a freaking moment to look at this stuff and go, oh, where am I? How did I get here with these beliefs? What are some decisions I've made with money? What am I feeling about that? What do I want to feel? All of these things, So like I said, it's a big, heavy topic, and I'm happy that you're listening to this, and let me share a little bit more with you. So like I said, 2023, super duper tough year. but also the year that I decided to really look at my numbers, to get familiar with my numbers. And then in 2024, like I said, because 2023 was so tough, this year I've really looked at it and developed a plan and worked the plan. And I did all of that thanks to Sally's help. So as you know, I'll link her episode. She was on the show a little bit earlier this year, and she has her Gab Accelerator program. That woman and that program, that is what really got me to sit, finally look at my numbers, finally look at income, expenses, look at what was going on, examine it, figure out, what did I need to glean from that? What was the data showing? What moves could I make? This is a story she loves telling, and I actually love hearing her tell it. But even looking at my behaviors when I am not doing so great financially, when the business isn't performing so well, one thing I do is I create new offers. And this is the funny part of the story. So she follows all of her clients on Instagram and, other platforms, wherever they may be. And she happened to notice that shortly after Gab ended and I had gone through the program, I was on Instagram and I was not working the plan. I had come up with a brand new email course, and it really didn't even relate exactly to my area of expertise. It did not align with where I wanted to go, the vision I had written, the offer suite that I had created. And so she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, it's not a great month." I'm not doing so well and I really need something to change and to bring in income. And she's like, this isn't the plan. So having those gentle reminders and having someone just, to feel like someone's in your corner who does know your numbers and who doesn't judge you for them and who is just there to remind you like, hey, this is the plan. Get over here and work this thing because remember, like this is the sales projections and all that stuff. And me just learning to reference those numbers and to check in and make sure that I was like sticking with the plan. Huge, life-changing, business changing. And let me tell you, that was March of last year. I'm in May and I'm having my biggest month ever with this online business. Change can happen. Things can be different and it may not hit immediately, but it will happen and things will be different. So just know that there's hope and there's a way to get there. And I really encourage you to go back and listen to that episode with Sally because you'll hear more about her philosophy of business and business foundations and all of that good stuff. So you have to listen to Kelly's episode and Sally's episode so far. There's one other person program and one book that was really huge. So I actually got this book. A friend gave it to me, I think December 2022 or January 2023. This is when I was like really waking up to like something's got to change here with my numbers and my finances. The book is You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. That was so fun to read. I flew through it. She's such a good writer. It was such an easy book to read. I got the physical book where I could flip through the pages, but I'm sure listening to that audiobook would be amazing as well. I'll make sure I link to that. Highly recommend that. And if you're a person who likes journal prompts and someone giving you a reflection point, that was awesome. At the end of every chapter, there was a set of journal questions and you could sit there and just write your thoughts out. And that was really helpful. So I'll make sure that I link to that as well. And then I've mentioned her before. Natalia Benson has been really instrumental with me understanding. She's cool. She ties in like astrology, business, and money. So that's another fun person to follow. And she's got a podcast. The podcast is on hiatus, but there's a ton of stuff that you can go and pour over. She also has a YouTube channel. So I'll make sure you get connected with her in the show notes and in the blog and all of that good stuff. But there are resources out there. There are people out there who can help you. There are concepts and practices and all kinds of things that can help you get on a better footing when it comes to money mindset and just healing your relationship with money. Like I said, I know it sounds like a little bit of a woo-woo concept, but it is truly life-changing when you find that thing and implement it and it sticks and it really starts to work. It's just the coolest thing ever. So have fun exploring. Like I said, Kelly's episode, go back and check that out. Sally's episode, and then the book by Jen Sincero. I'll make sure all those links are below and just have fun with it. That was really something, wasn't it? Let that really sink in and guide you toward being the answer to even more Googled questions. Thanks so much for joining me this episode. You are the reason this show exists and that it keeps growing. Thanks to all those follows and reviews. If you know someone who could benefit from what was shared, send it to them. We don't do shy around here. If you thought of clarifying or follow-up questions while listening, you know what to do. Say hi on Instagram. Check the show notes for all the things that were mentioned, and I'll talk to you soon, friend. Okay, you get it. You know SEO is important, but no, you're not interested in learning another skill. Who has the time? But who are you supposed to trust with the task of getting SEO to work for you? Someone who won't ghost you mid-project or treat you like a dum-dum lollipop. Someone who actually wants to empower you and your team with all things SEO. Hi, yes, it's me, Brittany, and you are the person I created the SEO packet for. You're curious, you want to understand this thing better, but like only a little bit. You don't actually want to do the doing. This way, you get the key SEO stuff super fast, and you get support throughout and beyond the project. No more letting Google gift you the wrong SEO strategy. Time to put the right words in the right places and get found online by the right people. Find all the info you need below.